Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. It was another sunny April morning with fresh snow on the ground. 3 inches overnight at A Basin, where Alyssa and Alex from Dallas were extending their first season on snowboards.
We don't really have anything that we've traveled for as of yet as a hobby, and we did this with some friends back in the beginning of February, and then none of them have followed us back out here.
This is officially the latest they have ever been riding. But will they be back in May?
Yeah, we're going to watch the weather.
We got to sync at a mile party, and then the weekend after we'll see. It'll be a last-minute thing.
Yeah.
Where and when was the latest you've been chairlift skiing? Mike and Ben up from Longmont.
Early May at Mount Baker, Washington.
I think it was July here, maybe in the 90s.
Frisco local, Damon.
I think the Basin, in June, somewhere in there. Skiing 4th of July Bowl a bunch of years back on 4th of July. Had to do that at least once.
Damon was out ripping it up today on telemark skis.
First time I went tele skiing was up in the Los Angeles mountains, and I think in like mid-'80s. And just got the bug and then started doing it more seriously in the 90s, and now I don't really know any different.
Over the years, though, he has taken up norpining.
It's when a tele skier doesn't always drop their knee and skis a little bit more alpine.
To some tele skiers, it's sacrilegious. But Damon says there's a time and a place.
I'll get a little bit of both, but I like to keep those heels down if I can.
Local snowpack is healthy this final weekend of April, 21 points above average on the upper Colorado Basin. You can thank weekly snowfall and consistent cold this month. But has April really been colder than usual? Yes, but not by much. Average temp at the crystallized weather station in Dillon has been 32 degrees. That's 3 to 4 degrees colder than recent years. Summit School District is resuscitating its International Baccalaureate program. Superintendent Dr. Tony Bird.
We just completed our review process with the IB accreditation team literally 2 days ago. Our recommitment to IB is clear. They saw that in the conversations they had with staff.
The IB program is one of Bird's top priorities in his second year.
They were particularly thankful that we hired staff members at each school to be in the elementary schools to be very focused on IB.
Next Monday, May 1st, Bird invites parents to a meeting on the future of learning at Summit schools. The IB program is a big piece. That meeting is at Summit High, 6 p.m. on Monday. It takes a special kind of green thumb to grow a garden here in Summit County.
I always joke with people, it's my profession, it's what I do, but I kill plants all the time.
That was Elise Pyburn of Mountain Roots Garden Design in Frisco and Avon. She has spent most of her career gardening above 9,000 feet.
Columbines, delphinium, poppy. I love spring blooming bulbs like daffodils and tulips. They're just kind of that first burst of color after the snow melts for us.
Gardening season does not start until about Father's Day, but Pyburn says you can start planning now. When you're new to alpine gardening, size does not matter.
One of my first recommendations to everybody is to really think about starting small and in a realistic game plan.
When you're picking plants, know the growing season.
I would not choose any crop that requires more than 60 to 70 days.
And do not skimp on dirt.
If you're gonna put your money into something, I would say soil is the place to do it.
Pyburn's a big fan of growing indoors if you've got the space. You can start those seedlings now. In sports, the Rockies open a weekend series with the Diamondbacks tonight at 6:40, and it's do or die time for the Avalanche against the Kraken at 8 on ESPN. They're down 3-2. And in local sports, Summit High girls lacrosse plays Roaring Fork at home. Boys lacrosse plays Glenwood away. Today's baseball game at Kennedy's been canceled. The Tigers smashed Glenwood yesterday, 20-3. Tomorrow before prom night, girls soccer plays Salida at home. Track and field is at the Steamboat Invite. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.